Alright guys, so I've been using the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra in 2025 for 6 months now, and honestly this phone has surprised me in ways I didn't expect. I know it's a 4-year-old device at this point. A lot of people will tell you it's outdated, that you should go for at least the S24 Ultra or the iPhone 16 Pro. But here's the thing, does everybody really need the newest flagship? Or can something like the S21 Ultra still hold its own in 2025? Well, that's what I want to find out. And after about 6 months of daily usage, I think I have the answer. I made a video earlier this year when I first got the phone, and it's only fitting I make an update, especially since a lot of you guys have been asking questions like, should I buy this or the S22 Ultra? If I ended up getting a green screen, is it worth it? Will I get One UI 8 when it comes out? How about One UI 7? Does it cause green screen, or should I avoid upgrading from One UI 6 and so on? So I'll be talking about this. So let's start with the design. Every time I pick this phone up, it still feels premium. It's big, it's hefty, and that matte finish on the back still looks sleek. No crazy fingerprint smudges. I mean, they are still a little, but not that crazy. The curved edges still gives a futuristic feel Samsung was pushing back then. And yes, it's heavy, and not everybody loves carrying around a 228-gram phone. But for me personally, I prefer that solid build. It feels like holding a serious device, not some lightweight toy. And honestly, when I place this on the table next to newer phones, it doesn't look outdated at all. That tells you something about how well the design aged. Okay, so now let's talk about the display, and I'm also going to be pointing out the green screen issue. Okay, so 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus AMOLED display, a 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10 plus. Even in 2025, this screen is a beast. Watching Netflix, gorgeous. Scrolling social media, smooth. Editing thumbnails, of even light photo editing for my videos, sharp and color accurate. The brightness level still holds up outdoors, and the color pop without looking oversaturated. Compared to some mid-range phone of 2025, which still ship with 1080p panels, this feels like a luxury. It honestly doesn't feel like I'm missing anything when I switch between this and a newer flagship. Okay, now so onto the camera. The main reason people loved the Ultra lineup. The S21 Ultra has a 108 megapixel main shooter, a 12 megapixel ultra wide and 2 telephoto lens, 3x and 10x, and honestly it's still one of the best and most versatile setups out there. The 1080p shots come out sharp, detailed and colorful. The ultra wide still holds up nice, especially in good lighting. You can zoom into a building sign, the moon, or even just snap candid photos from far away with the 10x periscope zoom, and they still look surprisingly good. Thanks to Samsung software improvement, it's still strong, not quite on the level of newer flagships with crazy AI processing, but definitely social media ready. I've shot a lot of my YouTube videos with this phone. Okay, so performance is where people usually get nervous with older devices. The S21 Ultra came with the Snapdragon 888 or the Exynos in some region. Mine is the Snapdragon variant, and after 6 months of usage, running Android 15 with One UI 7, it's surprisingly solid. Day-to-day tasks, smooth. Social media, multitasking, browsing, it handles all of it without stutter. I've even edited a few short videos on this phone and it didn't choke. Now when it comes to heavy gaming, Genshin Impact, PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, you can definitely play them, but after 20 to 30 minutes, the phone heats up. I mean, this is what you expect when playing heavy duty games like this. So the performance dips a bit and the battery starts to drain fast. And also when you game a lot, the display seems to dim down a lot. And also when you're outdoor and your phone is very hot, like maybe you've taken a lot of videos or a lot of games and the phone is very hot, you would notice that the display also dim a bit. So if you're an hardcore gamer, this might not be the best. Like if you are not on a budget, you would be better off going for something like the S24 S25 Ultra. But if you're on a budget, this is one of the best choice you can get in 2025. I mean, this is very okay. Also, and speaking on software, Samsung has been killing it with update. They promised 4 years of OS in 5 years of security updates, which technically ended in early 2026. That means that even now in 2025, you're still supported. And by supported, I mean on security update, not on OS update, because I mean almost all S21 series would have gotten the One UI 7, and none of the S21 series will be getting the One UI 8 unless maybe Samsung change their mind, but I don't think that's going to happen. And unless you're running or using the S21 FE or something, you might be getting the One UI 8. But apart from that, every other S21 series is not getting the One UI 8. That doesn't mean you can still get it if you want. I mean, there are other ways to get that. And here's the cool thing: One UI keeps evolving, new animations, features, customization. It still feels modern. You do not get that old phone vibe like with some Android brands after just 2 or 3 years. Now let's keep it real. The battery is where the age shows. Back when it's new, so for those of you that have been using yours for a couple of years, this is one of the biggest battery in Samsung lineups. But after a few years of use, battery health naturally drops. In my case, after 6 months of daily use, I'm averaging about 5 to 6 hours of screen on time. That's decent, but nowhere near what you get for the S24 Ultra, which pushes around 8 hours easily. And then there's charging. The S21 Ultra caps out at 25 watts watt charging, and let's be honest, in 2025, it's kind of like feels slow, but for me it's still okay. So when other phones are charging from 0 to 100% in around 20 minutes with 100 watts or even a 120 watts charging, waiting for an hour plus on this phone feels kind of outdated. But I mean, it's still okay. I mean, I charge my phone from 0 to 100 in about an hour, so that's still okay and fine by me. And I actually charge it once daily, and I don't actually need to, keep this phone plugged in. And there are sometimes if I don't use my phone too much, I actually still use it till the next day. There are days whereby I use my phone for 2 days without having to bother about charging. So the battery life is still okay, depends on your daily usage. Okay, so and here's something I want to point out. I've reviewed a lot of phones on my channel, and one thing that impressed me about the S21 Ultra is how reliable the phone is still, and it doesn't crash, it doesn't feel sluggish, the camera still holds up, and the display is a joy to use. Okay, so another issue I'm going to be talking about is the software update. So it took me a while for me to get the One UI 7, and by taking me a while, I mean I didn't even actually get it. I had to manually install the One UI 7 on my phone, and that is because I didn't know when I initially got this that it was a carrier unlocked phone, rather. So which means, given the fact that I'm outside the United States, I would not be getting the One UI 7 unless I step into the United States. And I didn't know this. It was late when I realized a lot of people have gotten the One UI 7 and I haven't. And I just tried to figure out why that was the case. So after I did, I just had to, go ahead and install this. And you can see that in this video over here where I show you how to install the One UI 7 manually on your Samsung device. So a lot of you that have been using maybe your Samsung device for quite a while, if maybe you're still in One UI 5 and you should be getting One UI 7, or maybe you're even using S22 Ultra and you haven't gotten One UI 7, so you can watch the video and it will show you how to go about, because you might wait for even years, couple of years, and you still won't get that device and that software update. So that's one thing I feel like I should point out for you guys. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's not just about having the newest phone, it's about whether your phone can keep up with your lifestyle. And 6 months later, this one still does. That's why I'm coming back to it, and it just works. Okay, so what's this phone for in 2025? If you're a power user who needs the absolute latest specs, insane charging speed, and 5 more years of updates, then go for the S24 Ultra, the iPhone 16 Pro, or maybe something like the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. But if you're on a budget and you want a solid flagship experience, amazing camera, beautiful display, premium build, the S21 Ultra is still a great pick, especially on the used market. And even if you're still using, like you have one and you're still wondering if you should upgrade, you put more money and get the latest, you can if you have, but if you're on a budget, you don't have to. This phone is still very much okay. I've seen it going for as low as $300, even for as low as $300, less than even $300 in some places, and for that price it's a steal. So yeah, after 6 months of daily usage in 2025, the Galaxy S21 Ultra has aged like fine wine, if you say. It's not perfect. Battery life, charging speeds are its weakest points, but the design, the display, the camera, and even the performance still deliver. And honestly, that's rare for a 4-year-old device. If you can live with its compromise, I say the S21 Ultra is still worth it in 2025. I hope you guys enjoy it. Catch you in the next video, and do not forget to subscribe and like the video if this helps, and let me know in the comment section on what you guys think. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.